Hi everyone, it's Jean. Just stopping by on this rainy Tuesday to share something sparkly and bright with you. Each year when the clearance comes out for the holidays or Valentine's Day or whatever holiday it is, I usually look for little things that are on sale that I can use in my art. And these I've had for a couple years. They are just little sparkly snowflakes, and they come in gold and they come in silver. Now the silver ones, well, actually some of them have gotten broken because I've probably had these a good 5 years or so and have used some before, but haven't used any recently. So some of them have gotten broken, but they're like I don't know how to explain it, kind of like a chipboard. They're not glass or fabric, anything like that. So what I did with one of them, and let me find it here, I laid it over here while it was drying, is because there were some pieces that had broken from it, from one of the other ones, I just took those pieces and clipped them off all around the edge and then made a more dimensional snowflake. So that looks really pretty, and these can be used by themselves, and you can hang them wherever you want a little bit of winter cheer, or you can decorate them and leave them as they are. You can also take the ones that are broken and use them for tags as well. So I'm going to show you how I make the little snowflake. You can call them ornaments or hangers, whatever you want to call them. I don't celebrate Christmas, so I don't have a tree or anything, but these are really pretty to hang up in a window or from a doorknob, or to give as a gift to someone that you appreciate. So this is what I would normally do with these. You can use a variety of items, just like you do for collaging other things. You could use some ribbons. I have all colored ribbons here. You can use beads. I have some rickrack. And I actually have these little white flowers that I want to dye, spray dye red, because I think they kind of remind me of a poinsettia. So there are some things that we can use to decorate our snowflakes. Now this particular one that I already started, it has a little deer on it, and it just has a little piece of lace and a little piece of distressed book paper behind it. And actually you could leave it just like this if you wanted to, and then you could make yourself a really cute hanger for it with some beads. What I want to actually add to this one is, once I dye these red, then it will get one of those. So that red will make it stand out a little bit more. And then we could even use some of this red ribbon or some of the other laces we have. So that's how that one will be done. Now additionally, I had been tearing a lot of book papers recently. So I have some scraps of some book papers. And And let's see, where is my, okay, over here are some little pieces of paper. So if we take the dauber and we just go around the edge of the paper and make it look distressed, it can be torn any way you want to tear it. And then you would take your snowflake. Now, these have little like wire hangers on them. So wherever you have the wired hanger, that's where you want it to show upright. That way you can put ribbon and you know where to put your ribbon. So that's how I can determine basically what direction I want the snowflake to go in. So let me ink this up a little bit more, and they do sparkle because I have glitter all over the place, probably in my hair and everything else. So with this one, I'm going to lay down some of the book paper. If I can get my glue to cooperate tonight. One thing about the beacon glue, if you've never used it before, is it has a tendency to bubble up and out the top. So even though it is a really great glue, I think there is a bit of waste, with it. So just keep that in mind. Sorry about that. That was one of my boxes. And this room is slanted and everything falls down. So after we put on this, we can look for a little piece of trim or lace. This actually that I have here is just some edging that was on a dresser scarf, and I took that off and I laid that right here just for another interesting little layering element. Now I definitely think that this needs a little bit of color. So what I'm going to do is I had made these little, what I called bulb. I don't know if you want to call them bulb children or what. But they're little girls and they are in a circular shape that kind of reminds you of a bulb or a snow globe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut some of these out. Sorry, you have to listen to my cutting out. And I'm going to put them on the snowflake so we can see how it turns out. Now, I went and checked my coffee shop because I thought for sure these were in there, but I didn't see them. So I will be uploading them again in case you want to do something with them. But after I cut out, it's a little, she's just a little tiny thing, but I'm going to try to take, I'm not sure if this will fit in all the way. Okay, and see if I can get the corners rounded on it. And actually, it's just the perfect size to do that. So the corners are rounded, and then we can just kind of tuck her in. Let me see if I can raise this lace up a tiny bit. I'm going to take some blue because I think with these, being that the background is silver and the paper is manila, and then you have the lace that's not a very dark color, I'm going to take some blue and ink up the edges of the little bulb babies or globe babies, however you want to call them. And then I'm going to put this right in the middle. So we will put this sweet little girl right here in the middle. Where's my, I wanted to see where my so I know she needs to be positioned right here where we have our the top. And I'm just going to rip this a little bit more. It's so ancient that I think you can, it's been around for a long time, so it rips really easy. So there we have this sweet little girl with her ribbon, and we can add some other things to it as well. For example, if you have any vintage buttons, they would look really pretty on here. I think I have a needle. I don't know if it's threaded enough though. So let me see what I have. You can also hang things like from this, if you look at it this way, let me close this ink. You have holes in each of these little spikes or whatever you want to call them, snowflake arms. So you could hang things from them as well. Like if you wanted to hang some pretty beads or something. Here is, that's a rough looking star button. So I don't think I have any buttons that will go with that. Oh, here's one. I may have to put a little bit more thread in it. We will see. I'm just going to thread it like this so that at least it has some in it. It doesn't have to be sewn on. I just want to make sure it has a little bit of thread in the button. I don't like putting them on without thread. I mean, that defeats the purpose of a button if it doesn't have any thread on it, right? Some people will just put it in each side and then tie it in a knot. I think what I have here is the thread's too short to really do that. So I'm just going to go in and out a couple times so it doesn't come apart. And then when I glue it on, the thread will stay in its place. Okay, so I cut this, and then I'm going to take a little dab of glue just right here. And my little button right there. That's so cute. Now, if I can find some other tiny buttons, which I think I do have some, but I'm not sure exactly where they are. Do I have another button box here close? Don't remember. Okay, so that is another option for you. If you have some other colored buttons or beads, that you would like to add. For example, I could add one of these little pink ones to go with this as well. And even a little blue one if I wanted to. And then I would have the 3 colors of the image that I can put down. Now, because I'm, you know, from my art in the past, I'm usually pretty much a matchy person, but I think it's all up to not only the creator, but when you look at it, what you think it might need or look best as. Give me a second. I had to get myself a magnifying glass so I could see to thread needles. Isn't that crazy? Even with my glasses, I can't see to thread them very much anymore. Although the eyes on these needles are super tiny. My mom has a huge needle box and I just pulled these out, but I usually try to get some with larger eyes on them. But then you run into the difficulty of, will it fit through whatever you're trying to sew on? So there we go. Let me move this out of the way. And as you can see, I do thread my needles a little bit different than other people thread them. I put the needle through the thread rather than the thread through the needle. And it works better for me that way as far as how I can see. So, so let's see. We will put, I don't know if I can sew this through or not. Let me take a look here. It's just that there's not a whole lot to sew through. Okay, so we will sew through this one. Oops. Through this one and back through this one. The thread wants to get caught up in the snowflake. So I'm not going to fool with that. I'm going to just thread the button and be done with it, because we'll be here all night getting it tangled up into the snowflake pieces. So today in Pennsylvania, it rained and rained and rained and rained and rained some more. So it's been one of those quiet days that's fun for thinking and reorganizing and creating. So that's what I'm doing with my snowflakes. I've been holding off showing them, but I think it's getting cool enough now that everybody is either having snow or thinking about having snow, and it'll soon be time to bake cookies. And I just hope I can do it this year, because last year was a challenge for me to bake cookies, but I still did. I bake every year, just because I enjoy baking cookies around the time that it snows. I usually bake, oh, I don't know, sometimes 15 mixes at a time, and I don't mix them ahead of time. I do everything at once. And last couple years, my husband's had to help me because he can help me get them in and out of the oven. But that's what I do once the weather starts to get cool, is I like to make cookies. And my husband's favorite are called Mexican wedding cookies, or they're kind of like pecan sandies. So I always make those for him. And my son will only eat chocolate chip for some weird reason. And I always like something like an oatmeal with nuts in it, or peanut butter. Peanut butter is like a staple for me in my life, so peanut butter cookies. So let me know what your favorite cookie is, and leave your comment in the bottom. And whoever leaves me a comment about their favorite cookie, I will put in a little drawing to receive one of these snowflakes. So do that, and you'll have a little snowflake to put on your window or your doorknob or wherever you want to put it. And you can tell me too, I have like almost every little girl, girls from around the world. I have girls with red hair, blonde hair, brunette hair. So if you have a specific request, let me know. This little girl, she kind of reminds me of like a Hispanic young lady. And so there she is with her cute little buttons, and that matches. And they're just really adorable. I want to see what I can do for the string on this. Now, I was thinking about using ribbon, and if you use ribbon, you honestly have to use something that's really, really thin, because if you don't, you're going to have, it's going to be hard to pull through this little hole. So let me see. This is not going to really match because it's pink. I don't have any white right here. Let me just check real quick. Under my desk, I have a box of ribbon and trim. So maybe I'll have a little piece of something I can use that's whitish, or cream colored. I have blue. This might be pretty. Let's try the blue. Pardon me. So you only need a little tiny piece, or a small piece, and you can thread it through single, thread it through double, kind of like you do a tag. If we thread it through this way, we could just tie a knot up here, and then you can hang it wherever you want to hang it. You could also put a little bow on it if you wanted to, and that would be cute. So I don't know if I can make a bow out of that leftover piece or not. I love, love, love working in miniature, but I've noticed over the years my eyes don't always want to cooperate with that. So let me see here if I can, oops. I just went right through the, went right through it. There we go. And we'll take this piece and put it through the middle. Let me just wrap this around a little bit so that it kind of pinches it in the middle. And then I'm going to go straight through and there we go. Actually, it kind of looks cute just like that with the pink in the middle without even trying to put the blue. So I may just leave it like that and see how that looks. It's kind of longer on one side than the other, but that's okay. I'll just clip it here and clip it here. And then I will clip off the string. And take this little bow and we can put it right here. Right, or maybe up there. Let me see. Where do I want to put it? If I put it there, it's going to cover up the buttons. I'm just going to put it down here. Okay, Jean, let me look at this a second. I kind of like it up there. That's what I think is interesting about different pieces of art and things that we're designing. We might like it one way and another person might like it another way. But the whole point is that what you like is not always the same thing as to what other people will like. But as long as you're pleased with it yourself, that's the most important thing. So not everybody may have your same taste or your same outlook. That's what makes art so fun. It makes you feel and have an emotional reaction to that. So I think it looks cute up there. That's so dear. And then the button, and I left some of the strings, and that'll be just sweet to hang. And then with the deer one, I was thinking what we could do with him, because I have some other things here. I have a little, see how this bubbles out? Sometimes if I'm quick enough, I can still use it, but that's why this type of glue can be kind of wasteful. I'm going to go ahead and put this this mushroom on it, because I think that looks really cute. And then when I get the red poinsettia made, I'll add that to it as well. And then we can use this cute little polka dot ribbon to make a holder for it. I don't think this one's going to need a bow. So I'm just going to run this end through here. And fiddle fiddle. And then pull this up. To turn it so that the polka dots will show from the outside, and just tie this in a little knot here, and then you have these really pretty hangers. And I think the red goes good with that, especially if I put on the red poinsettia. And I don't have any red ink or anything to ink this up with. I have some red spray, but it's not close to me, so I will come back and add the poinsettia, and I think it'll make a really, really pretty difference there with the little deer. So what I wanted to mention to you is on my website, I always say website, but it's actually my Facebook group, which is Lilac Lane Livery Arts. And of course the link is always at the bottom of my videos, but you can look at that and see the designs close up. And also I have a freebie on there from last week that includes some of the woodland animals. So if you wanted to download any of those and make some of these, you can. Now, if you don't have the actual bases that of the snowflakes, you can possibly pick these up somewhere in a package for not very much money at all, maybe at Walmart or something like that. Or you can make your own. And if you make your own, it's just as simple as folding the paper a certain way and cutting it out. And you can do that with pretty much any type of paper. You can use harder cardstock, or you can just use copy paper, whichever you find. Another thing with these is if you're making a journal for someone for a gift, these would be really pretty hanging inside, kind of like a bookmark. You can also clip them in. Just remember, if you do get, pardon me, I don't know why I'm yawning. If you do get the actual snowflakes, they do shed a lot of that glitter, so keep that in mind. But for all intents and purposes, they make very beautiful art pieces for you to share with your friends and family. So that's just the little project that I had today, and I'm sure I will be back again soon with something else. But if you're interested in having either one of these, all you have to do is mention in the comment section what your favorite cookie recipe is, and I will draw a name out of those and mail you off one of these little snowflake ornaments. Now, I'll let that run for like 24 hours. I'm not going to keep it up there forever, so I'll let it run for 24 hours, and then I'll go ahead and just put a comment on the video that who I chose and who it's coming to, so that then you can send me your address. And don't forget about the Happy Mail movement that, excuse me, a lot of us have been involved in. It's been really fun and quite a labor of love for Miss Kim over at Kim Newberg. So if you need to check out any details on that, feel free to. And lastly, my friend Caroline did some really beautiful digitals, and she is doing a series right now on how to put together mass making journals. So if you're interested in any of those things, hop over to their channels and check them out. Sorry, I feel bad. I keep yawning. I also will put the little bulb children in my coffee shop for you. I am not sure why they're not there, but I also have been working on some other pretty little girls. For some reason, they're like my most favorite thing to work with. So here's a set that will soon be going into my coffee shop. And I also have another set that I've been holding off in putting into the coffee shop because I want to do something with them and show you what I do with them. But they're little girls praying, and I thought that would be really pretty for this time of year. So I hope you all have a great evening and you are able to share some of your creativity with us and enjoy this little project, and you come back to see me again soon. Bye for now.